My advice to those who want to quit, it is very okay.
Before you quit school, listen to this message and judge yourself. My name is Christine Namuli, Kasangati High School, MS Sports Training and Sweet Production. Sweet Production is Student with Talent Production, where we search and expose talent.
People out there are toxic about education. They are throwing stones at the educators. With me here is a special guest. He is going to be sensitizing the public about education. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Christine.
Yeah. We would like to know your name and what you do.
My name is Musa Muguruma. I'm a teacher at Kasangati High School and the Director of Studies.
What is education in definition?
Education has got very many definitions, but I can bring to you one which is close. Education is the process through which we acquire knowledge, skills, values, and habits, and we do that through educational experiences, or what we call the learning experiences. And that is guided by either teachers or the mentors, and it is achieved through educational institutions, schools, homes, and life experiences.
Well, that's okay. Another question is, what is unemployment in relation to education?
Thank you, Christine. Unemployment in relation to education can be defined as a situation where, despite the educational qualifications, the degrees, people who are educated find it hard to find suitable jobs. They are educated, they have the qualifications, they have the degrees, but they fail to find suitable jobs.
Oh, thank you. So many people tend to relate being unemployed because they acquired education. Is it the case?
No, the case here is education is attained, but people lack jobs at the end of the day, even after acquiring the qualifications. Now, that is what we call educational unemployment. Educated, willing and ready to work, but the jobs are not there. So people relate that in a way, it is right, they relate that we acquired education, but jobs are not there. Maybe it will be the way to change the way we teach people, so that people are trained to seek, not to seek jobs, but to be job creators rather than job seekers.
Oh, thank you. I would like to also know whether all students are intellectually equal.
No. Students are not intellectually equal, and that is very normal, because we cannot be gifted the same way. We cannot be intellectually equal. Some people are good at mathematical, logical, and others are good at statistical, others are good at musical. The answer to that is no, and it is very normal.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that. We believe that even our hands are not equal. So, as an educator, which plans do you have to make that imbalance equal for those that are not intellectually stable?
Now, schools devise different means to make sure that all the learners, despite their differences, can be brought at the same pace and the same footing in terms of acquiring knowledge. Schools devise means by putting there either inclusive learning, where they can devise different ways of teaching to different styles of learning, and so that the learners can all acquire information. We can also do what we call the educational clinics, where we can look into how we can help these learners who are not at their best with others. Because generally, that gift is given by God. But all learners are part of the community. So the inclusivity that we are talking about is supposed to be looked into by the educators, the mentors, the teachers themselves, to find means of how we can also help these others. By individualism, for example, when you're teaching, you can go into the level 1 where you can say, Christine, how are you? How do you perceive things? How is this? You can also look into another person. You see, when you go individual, you're helping. By going individual, you can be able to find out what is hard. And then you devise means of trying different styles of teaching. You can start continuous assessments, for example. You try various assessments. You can try various techniques. You can even indulge in technology in one or the other. If the learner fails to perceive in this normal teaching routine, you have to devise means. So that is what educators do. They devise means of inclusivity where they can bring in learners, even those who are not at their best, so that they can match all. At least they may not match, but they succeed.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. We would also know that as a school, do you have any skilling programs for those people that have their talents, for people who know how to do some vocationals? Like, do you have any program as a school?
Hands-on is the way to go, believe it or not. Whatever we do now, we are not looking at attaining knowledge and leave it there. We are looking at how we can get that knowledge that we have acquired theoretically to see how it can help us practically. So hands-on is the way to go. In all subjects, if you teach about, for example, in chemistry, you talk about substances that you have to find ways of bringing them into actual life so that a learner can be able to integrate the knowledge they have got theoretically into practical what? Skills. But now, as Kasangati High, we are doing that. Hands-on is the way to go. We have skills.
Like?
We have skills that are being impacted into learners, practical skills, impacting them. For example, there is bakery, we have the carpentry, we may also be, there is also tailoring. All that are tailored to enable learners be able to have some skills practically, which are hands-on.
Yeah, we understand that you've catered for people who have skills. Now, how can you relate sports to education in Kasangati High School? If at all someone there out has maybe a talent in sports, how have you catered for them? Like, how can you relate their sports to education?
Education and sports, that is a discipline. In Kasangati High School, for example, not each and every member is into sports. But when we identify those who are into sports, we sit them down, we make sure that we talk to them first, how they can balance. Because a learner can come in, is good at football. He thinks that what he's going to do in future is football. But hey, papers are also needed in one or the other. So we talk to them to make them understand that these two can be balanced in this kind of a way. When it is time for class, be there on time. If it is time for sports, be there on sports. Because at the end of the day, you never know what is going to make this learner prosper in life. It may be the skill. It may be the sports that they are doing. It may be the academics. Or you may even think that it is sports, but the other way around turns out to be what? Education. So we try to talk to them so that they can balance sports, but there is no way you can separate sports from education.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. What should a parent expect from a student? Like when you go back home, what should parents expect to get from their students?
Well, parents should expect that when we are at school, we are not only impacting academic knowledge, we are looking at how these learners can socially relate with one another. Because now a school is a hub. Very many people are there. So if you cannot socially coordinate with everyone, then at the end of the day, you're not taught. So learning at school brings in knowledge acquisition. There is also social relations that are looked into. But teachers should also, parents should also expect that they are going to receive learners at the end of the day who are intellectually independent, who are outspoken in one way or the other, who are good at communicating with one another. And because the sole aim of giving these learners education at the end of the day is for them to contribute to their communities. So they should expect that learners at the end of the day should be able to contribute to their communities they live in positively, in one or the other.
Well, to start from that point, we would, this curriculum now is too much of problem solving. We would like to know, how is that equation that someone is going to solve in physics being applicable in our daily society? Like, how is someone going to be able to solve a problem after solving an equation?
No, now, the new curriculum that was developed, they try to remove some stuff which are not applicable in one or the other. But now we are looking at applicability, how the learners can transform the lessons they learn in classes into the physical life. It is problem solving. There are things that are going to be solved, not because they come directly from the curriculum, but because the learner is equipped with the knowledge of problem solving. You know, because now, for example, a door at home breaks, it gets faulty. Instead of calling a competitor to come and work on it, if a learner is good at problem solving, they can go ahead. What they need is gadgets. When they get them, they can open and apply some information in one way or the other. So basically, we may not say that the equation solved in class can come directly into the normal life at home, but if a learner is equipped or a learner adapts to problem solving, then they will be having that critical thinking. They will think about it and then find a solution there and then. It is critical thinking at the end of the day.
Oh, thank you so much. So this curriculum is going to be boosting someone is critical thinking, getting skills, because we believe they brought the DIT stuff whereby people are going to be doing hands-on. Like we saw some people did some baking here. So how flexible is that going to be to Uganda's economy?
The economy of Uganda, no problem. That the graduates from schools where they come from, they were not skilled. They were educated, but they were not what? Skilled. But now we are trying to produce learners who are skilled altogether. So we are not producing job seekers. We are trying at looking at where a learner can come out, but they are independent. They are job creators. They think of how to create jobs, not how to look for jobs. Because at the end of the day, when we look for jobs, they may not be there at times. So it takes us back to where we started from, the education and employment.
Hope we have learned and heard from what the doctor said. Yeah, this curriculum is going to be so educative. He has actually proved to us that education is not the problem that brings about unemployment, but the thing is, do you have any skill? In conclusion, we would love to know, is there any advice that is going to be given to those people who wanted to quit? That student who was out there and you were sick and tired of education. What is he trying to tell us? Okay, any advice to those people? Any form of hope to them?
Okay, now, my advice to those who want to quit. It is very okay to get tired. It is very okay to feel frustrated because that makes you human. Hey, but get tired, get frustrated, but try, but never fail to try. You need a rest? Take it. Think it through. Don't just decide to quit, because what you're deciding on is your future. Make sure that when you're taking a decision, it is a decision that you have hardly thought of. Because at the end of the day, this is the future that we are talking about altogether. So it is very okay. You can get tired. It's very okay. You can get frustrated. It's very okay. You can feel that you are not continuing anymore, but never stop to try. We are talking about the future. What education is going to do to you is strategically position you. Because we are seeing very many people out there who would wish to come back and be young again, like you, who are there saying that, I wish I had time to do this. I wish I can go back and study. I wish I became this. Because now, to avoid such lamentations at the end, you still have the ball rolling in your hands. Make sure that you think of whatever you want to decide. I started by saying that it's very normal to feel tired, very normal to feel frustrated, very normal to feel like you are not good enough for education, but I want to assure you, you are good enough for it. What you just need to do is to keep on trying. Never, and you should never get tired of trying for yourself, because it is you.
Yeah, thank you so much. They have actually advised you not to quit. Quitting is failing, so we shouldn't quit. I would also like to know which kind of advice would you give to the education toxicators? I mean, people who throw stones to education, like education is bad, when you study you're gaining nothing. We would love to know the kind of advice you would give to such people.
Thank you for bringing such a question to me, Christine. Now, let me tell you, I've also heard about lamentations of the kind, that education is no longer the key to success. A lot has been said about it. We have heard that you no longer need education to be successful in life. But hey, your luck may not be the other one's luck. People need to go and attain education. People need to go and have qualifications. People need to go and have skills. Because after attaining this education, it is you who is going to bring in new ideas into the economy. You are the one who is going to come in with new modern techniques in one or the other. And that can't just come from a layman. It comes from someone who is educated. So my word to the intoxicators, please, education remains the key role in one's prosperity. Because we don't learn to get jobs only. No. We are here, one, you get problem solving skills, for example. You get to, the curriculum is designed in a way that a lot of things come by, what we call the hidden curriculum. No one is going to teach you how to be smart. You attain it from school. No one is going to be there to tell you you need to be a good time manager. No one is going to let you know that. But you attain it in school, what you call the hidden curriculum. They come by the curriculum. So education, me, myself, and others who believe in education still say it remains the pivotal role in the prosperity of this nation. We need to be strategically positioned. Because I bring to you an example. If you, Christine, you educated, even if you fail to locate a job to do, but an opportunity presents it, what? It's solved at the later date. You have your papers already there. You're going to take them, and eventually you may get a job. Your life to changes totally. And whoever stops now, for example, you stop to make bricks, for example, you stop to go and make chapatis, you will be there. That will be your final destination. But this person is strategically positioned, and they are just waiting for an opportunity to present them what? Themselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, education remains the key to success.
Hope you have learned and heard of what the DOS has said. New curriculum is actually going to bring responsible Ugandans, because we see you go back home when you at least have some skills and then you've learned something intellectually. Out there, we hear different things from our society, but I think when we come to school, it actually changes our mindset and the way we see life and the way we do things.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our socials. MS Sports Training on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Sweet Production on YouTube and TikTok. Thank you.